afternoon, everybody. It's the big dog. Just want to talk to you a little bit about what's going on in the world today. Pretty good topics. We're trying to really get an understanding about what our president is actually doing right now. As I listen to the news media and I listen to, some of the other talk radio show hosts, when they talk about the activities in the White House and the activities in the city of Washington, and start to talk about the actions of our military. They also start to reference the recent firings of so many officials, in the White House that were a part of the Trump campaign. That's in the White House. Everybody that's there is been like a shuffle, it's been like a box. Guys are just moving around left and right. Trump is just firing people for all certain reasons. We don't really know what the big reason is, but what we do know is something is going on behind the scenes that we're not getting all the correct information for. So it looks like we're going to have to dig deep. I want to start the show off tonight. So thank you for tuning in. It's the Bullhorn News Network. It's the big dog, your host. And you're going to be on with me for the next 30 minutes. We're going to talk politics. We're going to get into the Twitter feed. We're going to get into some finance. We're going to talk a little bit about sports. Here at the Bullhorn Network, you can be whoever you want to be. Just call on in. Shoot your Twitter message. We'll read it on the air. This show is being brought to you by FFN, First Fitness Network. Lose 5 pounds in 4 days. .firstfitness.com is the website. You can go check out the products. You can look at our compensation plan, which is very, very lucrative. You can look at the products and how they affect you. They're all natural products. They have a lot of healing power, because we need that healing power, don't you feel? So we're going to get right to it. Donald Trump. I know a lot of us did not vote for Donald Trump. I know a lot of us thought about voting for Donald Trump because some of his views, we might have agreed with, which was always a hoax anyway. It was just a whole bunch of, whoop-de-whoop. But that's what it was. So when you look at it in that aspect, you say, all right, we got a president in there now. We got to deal with him. But we hope that he get in there and at least try to do the right thing in certain instances. And I don't believe that this dude's agenda is playing out like it was supposed to. As a matter of fact, I really think that it's somebody else's agenda. I'm just not sure. But we're going to find out. The more we research, the more we study, we're going to find out whose agenda it is. Okay? Because it's going to rear its ugly head. Right now, somebody is working on a propaganda notion that America is majority racist. They're trying to push this message out about white supremacy, about the KKK, about Nazis, and trying to take us back 50 years, 100 years, or whatever. But in my opinion, as only a radio host, in my opinion, that's so far from true, it's ridiculous. When you talk about white and black, it's really hard to negate the fact that we're getting along. You know, a lot of things have brought several races together. One of the things that I'm so proud about America, you know, is their sports. All right, sports have came a long way. You have to remember all the way back from Jackie Robinson when there were no black players. None. Zero. Nada. No black players playing in the major leagues. But again, somebody had to start getting along. And when somebody realized that how ignorant it was to segregate sports because of race or color, they started to change their perception. They started to change their perspective. They started to change the laws that went around ignorance, because good is going to always overcome ignorance. Same thing with basketball. You have to think about the pioneers, the people that stepped out in front because they knew it was something wrong, and they went against the odds. And again, somebody started getting along. And when somebody started to get along and they realized in basketball that whatever's going on right now is ignorant, and there should not be any segregation between players. People, you can play. Don't have nothing to do with your skin. Even in today, right now, if you can play the game of basketball, then you can just play. It don't matter if you're Mexican. It don't matter if you're Asian. It don't matter if you're white. It don't matter if you're black. You can play. You're going to be all right. See what I'm saying? So it's not about race. And, you know, so on and so on. We can sit there and make a lot of instances about sports and how they kind of changed the culture of everything. But then music has too. Music has changed the culture and the acceptance of different races enjoying other races' variety of music. Case in point, myself. You know, I like to talk about myself. I think I'm a music connoisseur. I think I like all types of music. Country, jazz, rap, R&B, you know. I can't get the real down home with the fiddle. I can't get that music. I just don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't have that pad action. You know, you got to have that pad action. I don't have that pad action. So what I would say about that is, I would say that music has brought a lot of races together. And so it's so many aspects of desegregation that have been created. Why would we go backwards at this point? Where are these people coming from? Why are they allowed to bring ignorance and use the First Amendment to bring ignorance? It has to be some type of clause. It has to be some type of understanding that you cannot use the law to disturb the peace, to disturb the public, because that's actually what's happening. That's actually what's going on. The public is being disturbed. The laws of this nation was created starting with we, the people. So that means we, the people that own the property, the people that are citizens of these United States, in whichever way you want to call it, the people that understand how to live in unity, and we're trying to, coexist in the North American continent. Why would we allow ignorance on this basis of disturbance for the public? I guarantee you, if it was any other race, believe me, this is where it starts to sound off with the racism. And I don't even want to talk about the police and some of the ignorant supposed peace officers, you know, that are around here making a bad name for a lot of our law enforcement officers that are good, because I have many, many friends that are extremely good people and would never do or commit some of these ignorant acts that some of these cops are doing. I have white friends. I have Mexican friends. I have Asian friends, all of them that are police officers. So I'm telling you from experience. I'm not telling you what I read in the newspaper or article or blog. I'm telling you from actual experience. These guys are good guys. Some of these guys understand their oath. Some of these guys take their job serious and they're not out there on a power trip like some of these other ignorant people. So why would we allow that? Why would we allow people to bring weapons to the street? Even though they cleaned it up in the Boston protest. But this is my thing. Mayors and politicians have to sign off for these ignorant, racist protests. Quote unquote supposed to be a peaceful protest or exercising your freedom of speech. Well, are you really doing that? Or are you looking for a fight? Or are you looking to start some mess? I don't know. I don't know what kind of message they're trying to send. We're not on some, we're not in a situation where it's about to be a civil war anytime soon on the United States soil. So help me understand what their message was supposed to be. What are they sending? Then you start talking about the Jews too. They don't know who are they just mad at everybody? Why are they mad at everybody? Do they want everybody to leave but them? Whoever they are? Because you never would have been in the position that you are in right now in people's psyche, because this is a psyche that's been built up over years and years. And now it's starting to dwindle with this new generation, because this is a new generation of I don't care about what you said. See, as long as you had control over the actions of an individual by fear and ignorance, you was straight. You was good. Now that you have people that can read, write programs, create laws, overview policies, do things that they're going to use their brain, not have to use their body, and be very, very intelligent and start to create this atmosphere of education that you did not want. And now you mad? We finally got a president. Finally got us a president in there that's black. Finally got him. So, as we got the president in there, and he did exactly what he was supposed to do. While he was in there, he did everything he could to his capacity, quote unquote. Still didn't like it. Now he's gone, you're still mad. What are you mad about, people? What makes racist individuals so angry? Man, I had a talk the other day. We was talking to my friends the other day. And I was talking to my wife also. And we was talking about how racism and ignorance is a disease. It's a mental disease. Like, people should be locked up for the mentality that they have as a racist. There's no reason to be a racist, right? But the funny thing is that we decided to say, and everybody agreed, that when a baby is born into this world, they're not racist. Any baby, any color, any part of the world, a baby born into this world is not racist. So you cannot say that racism, we was born into this racism. Racism has to be taught. And what's happening is the people that are teaching or had taught or had kept that tyrant attitude for many, many years are starting to die. They're starting to die off. And that ignorant mind state is starting to die with them. So the few that are still here, that are trying to teach their young siblings or their young seeds, their kids, their generations, they're trying to keep this ignorant mind state up on whatever level, or start